Hi, Wendy. Long time no talk. I hope you're well. I'm wondering, have you heard that Kimmy and I are getting married? She said she was going to tell you about it.
Of course, she let me know all about it. That's amazing news, really fantastic. Congratulations and best wishes to the both of you. You take good care of my little sister now, you hear?
Absolutely, will do. And actually, on the subject of our wedding and our marriage, there's one thing I really wanted you to know beforehand. Do you have some time right now?
Sure, but what's this about? You've got my attention.
So, yeah, it's just that I'm marrying Kimmy and I intend to be husband and wife with her. But I don't have any intention or desire for you to be part of our family other than that, if you know what I mean. So, I'd like to ask you to understand that about me. Please, I say this in all seriousness.
Okay, but I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Okay, to put it bluntly, please don't take our marriage as an opportunity to get involved in our lives or too close to us. The reality is that there is quite a significant difference between you and us. We're on different levels, if you know what I mean. So, even though you're going to be my sister-in-law and we share a common family member in Kimmy, that doesn't mean you, me, and my family are close. Please, just don't forget your place and your social standing, okay?
Oh, I think I see now. So let me get this straight. This significant difference that you're talking about, is that in reference to my level of education? Is that what you're getting at?
Oh, what a relief to hear you say that. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I was worried that someone of your social standing and level of education wouldn't understand what I'm getting at. Phew.
Excuse me? You thought I was too dumb to understand what you're saying?
Yeah, you know, I was a bit concerned, but you've surprised me in a good way. It's just that, these days, people only with a high school diploma are pretty much always from the lower rungs of society. I mean, that's just a reality. I come from a family of high-educated doctors and such, so it's hard to understand your level of education and why someone would choose it.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. I only graduated high school, but that certainly doesn't give you the right to talk down to me or to insinuate that I'm low class. I had other things I wanted to do besides college, so I followed my own path. Not everything requires a college degree, you know. For your information, after high school, I went to culinary school in France. And thanks to that experience, I now am running a very successful French restaurant. It's called Maison d'Or. Perhaps you've heard of it, or even dined there. It has an excellent reputation.
Yeah, I see. So you run a restaurant serving French food to people who have no idea what French food is. Isn't that right? Sorry, but any work you can do only with a high school diploma can't be accurately called successful. Again, it's just reality. Please, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, did you actually just say that to me?
You see, unlike you, Kimmy went to college and is an excellent marriage prospect because of that. She's actually my ideal match. She checks all the boxes, so to speak. When I proposed to her, it was a big decision. My mother gave her permission and full blessing, which is no small thing, I assure you.
Your mother? Permission? Hang on a minute. Please say that for me again, please? Did you say your mom gave you permission to marry my sister?
Of course. Obviously, any fiancé of mine is going to have to be acceptable to Mom. That's the way it's done in our family. Thanks for your understanding and for your cooperation in keeping an appropriate distance between us going forward.
Wendy, I have news. It's kind of sudden, but we've decided on the approximate date for the wedding. Are you ready? We're going to do it sometime early in the month, 2 months from now in August. We're still not sure about the exact date, but that's the window. Can you take off work for it? Hope so. You gotta be my maid of honor. Of course I'll be there, and of course I'll be your maid of honor. It'd be great if it could be before my work trip. I have to go up to Seattle to help set up our new bistro there at the end of that month. Great! This is happening. It's really happening. Then we'll get your invitation sent out as soon as we have the date set. Wonderful. I'll be on the lookout for it. But hey, sis, there's something that's been on my mind. This is gonna sound bad, but I feel like I need to say it because you're my little sis and I love you. Are you sure you want to marry this guy? What do you mean by that? Of course I'm sure. Well, how can I put this gently? I talked to him recently and I get the feeling that he and his mom are extremely close, if you know what I mean. So I'm just thinking about that and worried that it might cause problems for you once you're married. I wouldn't want you to have any problems with his family. Oh, that. You already noticed that, huh? Yeah, it definitely was an issue, but... What? You know about it? Yeah, and you're totally right. He's a real mama's boy, no doubt about it. Keep this between you and me, sis, but she actually came with him on our first date. Can you believe that? You've got to be kidding. Really? Yeah, but since then, she's been really nice to me. No issues. I've won her over, I think. She takes a lot of pride in her work and career, and she's a really cool woman. I like her. We've all talked a lot about the issue, and I think we're all on the same page now. I'm not really worried about how things will be once we've tied the knot. It's been addressed. On the same page? I'm not so sure it's possible for you and them to be on the same page on this. Are you sure? Well, Max promised me he'd be a good husband and take care of me, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'd be happy if you'd keep an eye on the situation too, though, sis. All right, then. I can see you're decided on this, so I've got your back, whatever happens. I'm wishing you and Max nothing but happiness in your new life together. And I'll be on the lookout for my invitation. Can't wait to see you in your wedding dress. Thanks, I love you. I'll be in touch. Until then.
Hello again, Wendy. I hope you're well. I just thought I'd check in and see if you received your wedding invitation yet. Have you?
No, not yet. I've been watching for it. I've been wondering where it is and thinking that it should be coming soon, actually.
Hey, about the ceremony, there's been a sudden change and, due to unforeseen circumstances, it's now on a different date.
Oh, really? That's a surprise.
Yes, unfortunately, there's been a delay with some of the preparations, and we've been forced to delay the entire ceremony by about 2 weeks. So, I'm just checking with all the guests and confirming their attendance. That's why I'm calling you now. Are you still able to attend the wedding on the new date? We hope you are.
I'm very sorry, but I cannot. How disappointing. I have a business trip scheduled during that period, and I'm unable to cancel or change it. It's a very important project. So, I'm sorry to say that I'm afraid that I won't be able to attend.
Oh, we're sorry to hear about that too. What a shame. Kimmy did mention to me that you had a business trip scheduled around that time, now that you mention it. The schedule change for the wedding was unavoidable, unfortunately. It just couldn't be helped.
Well, I have to regretfully say that I cannot attend then. My apologies. I'll let Kimmy know myself. She's not gonna like it, but as you say, it can't be helped.
No, that's not necessary. I'll inform her about it myself. You're obviously very busy, and maybe I can take one thing off your shoulders by breaking the news to her myself. So we'll put you down as not attending. Got it? Thanks for your cooperation.
Thanks? What are you thanking me for?
Oh, I mean... Oops. Dang it, and I was doing so well. Ugh.
Excuse me, what are you talking about?
Well, to be honest, my mom is going to be pretty happy to hear about your non-attendance. She's been saying from the start that she'd rather not have you there. When she hears the words not attending, she'll be pleased for sure. It'll make her day, in fact. Like I said, it was unavoidable, but thanks for your non-attendance.
Now you just wait 1 minute. I deserve some kind of explanation for this. Why on earth is your mother so dead set against me attending my own sister's wedding? I mean, what does it matter to her?
It's your lack of education, just as I stated previously. I told you about my family and our social standing. Her position is that she'd rather not have lower-class people at her beloved son's wedding. I can't say that I blame her either.
Lower class? Just who does she think she is?
Anyway, this works out well for everyone, yourself included. After all, now that you don't have to see your younger sister get married before you do, isn't that a good thing? You can thank us later.
What are you even talking about? You're making zero sense here. Why on earth would I be thanking you for anything?
I mean, everyone knows women don't like seeing younger women getting married before themselves, right? Let alone their younger sister. Admit it, Wendy. Deep in your heart, you didn't really want to come to this wedding. It's totally understandable. Am I right? Never mind. I know I am because Mom says so, and she's always right.
Do you have any idea how clueless and offensive both you and your mother are being? I have nothing but love for my sister and wish her only the best. There is zero jealousy in this situation, not one bit. Furthermore, I had every intention of attending your wedding, and I'm deeply saddened that I cannot, despite you and your mom's insulting treatment of me.
There's no need to put yourself out, Wendy. If you can't attend, you can't attend. We understand, and as I said, it's better for everyone this way. Thanks again, and take care.
Wendy, what's wrong with you? Why are you backing out of the wedding at the last minute? How could you? I mean, I'm your sister. This is really, really sad. Why are you doing this to me? What? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean the wedding. What else would I be talking about? It's today. Don't even try to tell me that you forgot. It's horrible of you to do me like this. I'll never forgive you, never. What? Today? What do you mean? Max just told me. He said you really didn't want to come today. He said you're upset that I'm getting married before you. I'm so disappointed in you. I can't believe you'd cancel like this because of a stupid reason like that. Wait a minute. I'm hearing you, but what the heck is going on? That's what I'm asking you. What gives? Who cares who gets married first? That's so dumb. I've been looking forward to this for so long, and now you go and do this? I mean, it's a betrayal, an absolute betrayal. Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is for me? Why would you do this to me on my wedding day? Wait a minute, Kimmy. Calm down. Listen to me. I've always loved you to death, Wendy. But this is just beyond the pale. Unforgivable. How could you just bail on my wedding like this? I'm just shocked. Shocked! I didn't cancel at the last minute, Kimmy. I never got my invitation. Huh? Say that again? Read it again. Listen to me. I never, ever received my invitation. I've been waiting for it and checking my mailbox every day for weeks. Then Max called and told me you guys had to move the date back 2 weeks. If that turned out not to be the case, someone needed to let me know. It's not my fault. Something is very, very wrong here. Hang on. Rescheduled 2 weeks later. What's that about? That was never a thing. I mean, we never rescheduled anything. Who told you that? Like I said, Max told me. He called me out of the blue a while back with a whole story about unavoidable delays or something. And he said you guys needed to reschedule the whole thing 2 weeks later than the date on the invitation. He asked me if I could still make it or not. Max said all that to you? Yeah, and I told him I had a business trip that was set in stone, so I couldn't attend on the new date. And now I suddenly hear from you today, the original date of the wedding? And you accuse me of being a no-show? So, who's really in the wrong here? I smell a rat. Hang on. What on earth is going on here? Why would he lie to you about the date being changed? It's obviously because I don't meet his high standards. He told me as much himself. He made it clear to me before that both he and his mom don't like the fact that I only graduated high school. What on earth? Is that really what he said to you? Yeah. So before you get mad at me for any of this, you better talk to your fiancé about his part in it, and his mother's part. I mean, every conversation with the guy sooner or later comes around to what his mom thinks about the subject. Mom says this, mom thinks that. The guy is obsessed with his mother. You need to get a grip on this situation because it's out of control. I can't believe what you're telling me. Wait a second. He was talking like that with you? Mom this and mom that? Yeah, and that's an understatement. It's like he doesn't have a single original thought or opinion. It's all from mom. And you said you all were on the same page. I warned you, didn't I? Your creepy mama's boy freak sabotaged me. No, I don't want to believe it. He promised me he'd tone down that mom talk with other people. He promised he'd tone it down with me too. It really seems like he was doing what he said he would. But it looks like he hasn't toned it down at all. Huh? I don't follow. I agreed to marry him because he said he'd tone all that down. He promised me. But that's not what he's doing at all. I'll drop him in an instant if he's still stuck on that mom stuff. He'll keep his promise or we're through. Whoa, hang on a second. All that was actually an agreement between the two of you? You made him promise to stop obsessing on his mom? Really? Sorry, sis, we'll have to talk later. Right now I need to go and hold him accountable.
Wendy, what have you done? Whatever you said to Kimmy, she's really, really mad at me.
Yeah, I bet she is.
Why did you have to go and tell her I gave you bad information about the wedding date? This is all your fault. Now Kimmy's saying she's gonna call the wedding off. Today.
Why are you mad at me? You're the one who intentionally lied to me and set this whole chain of events in motion. You and your crazy mother clearly didn't want me at the wedding. So you fabricated one lie about the date being changed and then another one about me suddenly canceling.
You can just shut up now. It's obvious that you've never heard of the expression that ends justify the means, but then you're just a lowly high school grad, so I wouldn't expect you to know it.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I lied, but I did it for both you and for Mom, you ungrateful lowlife. Mom didn't want you at the wedding. That's true. And you obviously didn't want to have to see your younger sister getting married before you. So why am I the bad guy? All I did was save you both from things that you didn't want.
You did it for me? Really? You need to get a grip.
No, you need to get a grip. You're the reason Kimmy's so mad at me. She's canceling the whole thing right now. I heard her on the phone with the lawyer even. So, how are you gonna fix this?
Fix it? Why is that up to me? I'm not the one who broke it.
Mom says this is all on you. She says it's gonna be a real embarrassment to our family if Kimmy actually drops me. Mom's really upset, even more upset than Kimmy. You need to come over here and apologize to both me and Mom and fix this mess. Heaven knows a lowly high school grad like you has no business picking a fight with a family like ours. You'll regret it if you do, I promise you. And so does Mom.
Yeah, so a word of advice, Max? You really need to lay off all the mom says stuff, because I've had it up to here with it, and I told you I'd dump you if you don't grow up. Didn't I just tell you that not more than an hour ago? Didn't I?
What? Wait, Kimmy, is that you?
Yeah, I came over to Wendy's right after I told you how it's gonna be. I wanted to talk to her in person and make sure about what's been going on. So what on earth are you trying to do? What's this you're saying about everything being my sister's fault?
Yeah, so that's all just...
The ends justify the means? That's what you said, isn't it? Tell us more, please. I suppose that was your motive when you told me you'd lay off all the mom stuff too, right? That was all just another conveniently justifiable lie too, wasn't it? Anything for Mom, right? She's the end that justifies any and all means, isn't she? Well, answer me.
No, Kimmy, it's not like that, I swear.
Stop. Do you or do you not remember how many times you proposed and how many times I said no to you? I told you clearly and in no uncertain terms that I could not marry a man who's so obsessed with his mother and so concerned with her opinions. And you promised me you'd change. You promised me you'd work on it. I finally agreed to marry you based on those promises. And yet it's clear now that you had no intention of keeping them. How do you explain this absolute betrayal? Speak up.
I never wanted to betray you, Kimmy. I really didn't. I wanted to do what I promised and move ahead together like we talked about. But it turned out to be so much harder than I thought. I guess I realized how important Mom is in my life.
Then go and spend your life with her. Lord knows you and I are through. There's no coming back from this betrayal of my trust. None. Goodbye, Max.
Kimmy, wait. Please, don't say that. I love you. Sure, Mom's important, but you're at least as important to me as her.
Oh, really? If I'm so important, how can you treat my sister the way you have? It's bad enough that you made false promises to me about changing your bizarre, obsessive relationship with your mother. But what I will absolutely never forgive you for is the way you've treated my sister. There's no way I will ever marry a man who treats my family that way.
Wait, I can make amends.
Whatever else there is to say about any of this, it can be said later. This day has been a nightmare thanks to you and your mom. I'm furious, and that's not changing anytime soon. I'm done talking to you.
What do you mean you're done? I'm not letting you go, Kimmy, never.
Shut your mouth, mama's boy. There's nothing in the world I can't stand more than a lying mama's boy, so shut up and leave me alone.
You can't mean that. You said yes, you said you'd marry me.
Wendy, you have to forgive me for yesterday. I rushed to judgment and blamed you before I had all the facts. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it, sis. Max didn't tell you the truth. It's not your fault. I might have done the same thing in your position.
I'm just totally done with him. Any feelings I had for him are completely gone. He said he'd change his ways for me, and I believed him.
Does it look like you can get out of the marriage without any hassles? You guys hadn't put in the actual paperwork yet, right?
Yeah, thankfully. So everything should be doable. His mom said she'll never forgive me for dumping her son. She also said I should be thankful that her son, the doctor, ever even gave me the time of day. She really has a mouth on her, that one.
She'd have been a ton of fun as a mother-in-law. I mean, it's not like she's even a doctor herself.
I know, right? Hey, did I tell you that? I mean, that she's not a doctor herself? Actually, pretty much that whole family are doctors, believe it or not. She's the only one who isn't.
Hey, who do you think you're talking to? Of course I did some research. I'm not going to let my little sis marry without checking the mother-in-law out.
Oh, you're the best.
And by the way, it looks like a medical license isn't the only thing she's missing.
Huh?
Anyway, let's hope everything calms down a bit now. At least let's hope for that before I have to go to Seattle. So take care of what needs to be taken care of, okay? Then I can bring you back some good stuff from the Emerald City.
Really? Okay then. I'll get cracking and clean this whole mess up by then for sure.
Please, Wendy, you gotta help me. Help me get Kimmy back, will you please? You're the only one I can turn to.
Me? Why? I'm just a stupid girl with only a high school diploma. Plus, I'm on my way out the door to go to Seattle.
Please, don't be like that. I'm sorry I gave you grief about your education and career choices. I'm sorry and I apologize for making fun of your high school education. Okay, now I apologize, so please help me.
Let me think. No, I don't think so. It's because of people like you that high school grads like me are looked down on and passed over for good jobs. Jobs that we could do just as well as any university grad. And not just that, if those high school grads have kids, even they are looked down on and thought of as stupid. It's so unfair, isn't it?
What does that have to do with me? My mother isn't one of those. She went to college. She's a proud graduate of a top university.
Yeah, that's actually not true. She may have gotten into a top university, but that's all she did.
I have it on good authority that your mom didn't graduate from any university. That's right. Your beloved mother ended up with exactly the same level of education as me, a high school diploma.
So you're saying my mom is just a high school grad like you?
Correct. You see, you two made me pretty angry with your snobby attitudes towards me and my education. So I decided to do some digging and find out just how highly educated you both are. And I found out something interesting. It seems that she did get accepted and enroll at UC Berkeley, but in fact she dropped out.
My mom is a dropout? I've never heard anything like that about her. I don't believe you.
I spoke with a classmate of hers who has no reason to lie about it. Your mom doesn't seem to have been interested in attending class much. Apparently, she was much too busy partying the night away, every night, and then she dropped out. You see, as fate would have it, that former classmate of your mom's is a close relative of mine, and they've known her since high school.
You can't be serious.
Oh, but I am. So anyway, they told me your mom was a big deal and really well known back then because it's a small town and she got into a big famous school. But then she dropped out, and of course that became big news around here too. Just like that, overnight she went from local hero to major disappointment. It didn't help that she was slutting it up all over campus.
You're lying. None of this is true. There's no way my mom only went to high school. I mean, she absolutely loathes people who don't pursue college. She calls them brainless bottom feeders. Our family is nothing but successful high achievers, every single one of us.
Yeah, your mom is a high achiever, all right. She achieved something not a lot of people can do, keeping a lie alive for all these years.
You're the one who's lying. I don't believe a word of it.
If you think I'm lying, then go ahead and ask her to show you her degree from Berkeley. And with that, I must leave you. Best of luck to you. And please give your mom my regards from one high school grad to another. After that, Max kept asking his mother questions about it all until she finally relented and admitted that she'd dropped out of Berkeley. She also admitted that she'd falsified her academic records and that she thinks she met Max's father at a university mixer, but she's not sure exactly who it was. The story she told Max about him dying while she was pregnant in a tragic accident was a complete lie. After finally owning up to her decades-old lie, she faced a storm of angry criticism from the entire family and was eventually told to pack her bags and leave. Max, being the mama's boy that he is, refused to let her go alone, though, and decided that he'd rather stick with her than be separated. Doing so put him at odds with the rest of the family, however, and as a result of that, he was pushed out of the family medical practice. I'm told that he was unable to find another practice and that he's still trying to find a new fiancé while living with mom and working for a small company in an undisclosed location. As for my little sister Kimmy, she ended up getting what I can only describe as hush money, a sizable sum of cash from Max's illustrious family in exchange for never mentioning any of this affair to anyone ever. In her own words, the balance in her savings account now has a lot more zeros. I couldn't be happier for her. But above all, I'm glad she didn't marry that creepy mama's boy. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. If you didn't, feel free to give us your opinion in the comments section below. Also, please follow our channel. Your opinions and comments keep us going. We have many more videos that we're sure you'll enjoy, so please check them all out. See you in the next video!
Hey, sis. Are you getting married? I came back to visit, and now it looks like we're having a get-together with his family. That was news to me. Mom gave me some money and told me I'd better go buy a new dress for it. She said we need to make a good impression, so I guess I'll have to do my best. A get-together? That's the first I've heard of it. So things have gone that far, huh? I guess I didn't know either. I wish they'd just let me be. I mean, I'm the beautiful sister after all. Why they're worried about me making an impression, I don't know. How did you end up getting married before me anyway? It makes no sense at all. That's not how it's supposed to be. Not at all. Me getting married has nothing to do with you, sis. Not everything is about you, you know. What does that mean? Of course it does. It has everything to do with me. I'm your sister. Yeah. Actually, I don't really think of you as my sister. Now, that's really mean. Why would you say that? Are you trying to make me cry? You're doing a good job. I'm the one who should be crying because of the way I've been treated. After all, when someone wanted to move out and live on their own, that someone went and sold all my models and figures that I spent years collecting and building. And then that someone used that money to move out and get their own place. Are you still angry about that? It was ages ago. Those were valuable collections and ones that I made myself. Limited editions that you can't even find anymore. You really have no idea what you did. I spent weeks putting some of those models together and making them perfect. You have absolutely no idea how much they meant to me. How much they were worth. Yeah, they fetched a really good price on eBay. I was thankful for that, I can tell you. Of course they did. I know that. Like I said, that was an extremely valuable collection. That's why I left it here for safekeeping. But nothing of mine is safe from you. Ever. I should have known that. Then it's your fault for leaving them here. Don't blame me for your bad judgment. You need to keep that kind of stuff at your own place. It's as simple as that. I left it all here temporarily until the move was finished, dummy. It wasn't supposed to be a permanent arrangement. It was for 1 week. 1 week! 7 days was all it took for you to grab it all and sell it. You really owe me some compensation for them, you know. Hey, you left that stuff in this house, which is our house. So it was mine as much as it was yours. Oh, okay. So I can take your clothes and your designer handbags that your old boyfriend got you and sell them, right? That's fine by you, right? I'm just following your logic here. I'll just do that and not mention it to you at all, okay? How would you like that? That's different and you know it. I'm still using all that stuff. Those models and figures were toys. You're an adult now and obviously not playing with those toys anymore. You're not the one who decides whether or not I still need them. You had no right. You know those toys are the reason why you could never find a proper boyfriend, right? And yet my sister, the nerd, somehow still managed to get married before me. It boggles the mind, truly. This world really is full of things that defy explanation. Yeah. Quit changing the subject. You owe me money and you know it. There's no way I'll ever be able to get that collection back. So you're gonna need to pay me back somehow. That ain't happening anytime soon, so don't hold your breath. I just got laid off from my last temp position like literally yesterday. My temp agency is looking for my next assignment, but I don't know when it'll be. It's anyone's guess. If you can't pay me back for the things you stole from me and sold for profit, Maggie, then I really don't have anything to say to you. Oh, don't say that, sis. I actually have something I want to ask you. It's about your fiancé. Is he hot? Don't ask me. You can see him for yourself at the get-together. I heard a bit about him from Mom and Dad already. All they know about him is that he's filthy rich. Is that all you told them? I wouldn't say filthy rich, but he does pretty well for himself. Oh, here we go again with the evasive statements. That just makes me more interested, you know. Look, if Mom and Dad gave me money to go out and buy a new dress just for this, it must mean something. That says a lot. I can guess what his social standing is. Seems like proof to me that he's a real catch. I need to know more. Don't read too much into everything, sis. You might misread something sometime. You know, I just can't accept you getting married before me. It's just not right. It's not the natural order of things. So why don't you just give him to me? You know that makes more sense. Excuse me? Did I hear you right just now? Did you just ask me to give you my fiancé? Hey, what's yours is mine, right? Just like your collection. We're family, remember? I mean, wouldn't he rather have the hot, fashionable younger sister than the boring, nerdy older one? He doesn't care about that kind of superficial stuff. I promise you. He's exactly the opposite, in fact. Wow, you sound pretty certain about that. When did you become so self-confident? Let's test him and see. Test him? What do you mean? How do you plan to do that? It's simple. We'll just see which one of us he chooses. We'll see which one he wants to marry. What on earth are you trying to do here, Maggie? I don't know, Andrea. What on earth do you think I'm trying to do? Hey, all I'm gonna do is introduce myself to him and give him my number. That's it. And then he'll pursue me and dump you. That's what I'm betting. Don't screw around, Maggie. This is my life we're talking about. This isn't my model collection we're talking about here. This is my fiancé. There's no difference. It's all the same. Men are collectibles too, just like your models and figures were. Maggie, I'm warning you. Don't screw up my wedding. I just want to get married in peace. Please do not. I repeat, do not play games with my wedding or my marriage. Now I gotta ask Mom and Dad a bunch of stuff. This'll be interesting. See you later, sis. Let the games begin. Wait a minute. Maggie, don't do this. Maggie!
Hey, Andrea. I need to talk to you about something important. Is now a good time?
Sure, now's fine. What's up? Everything okay?
There's something I've been keeping from you for a while now.
Oh, a secret you've been keeping?
It's two things, actually. But that's all.
Oh, just two? Great. Okay then. Spit them out.
Okay, here it is. I want to call off our engagement.
Call it off? Our engagement?
Yeah, that's right. I know you and I are supposed to tie the knot next week, Andrea, but I've realized that it's actually not you who I should be marrying.
Whoa, hang on a minute. You want to cancel our engagement? And what are you saying about the actual wedding? It's next week?
Yeah, you know how my folks picked that wedding chapel? You remember, the one we went to look at together that day.
Wait, you mean that really huge one?
Yeah. My parents got married there, so they wanted us to do it there too.
So, that's one of the things you've been keeping quiet about? That chapel? But you and I haven't even really talked about the actual wedding ceremony details. I mean, like, at all.
Yeah, so this ceremony talk isn't about you and me, Andrea. You see, I met someone else recently, and I really feel like she's my soulmate. And that's the other thing that I've been keeping quiet about.
I'm not really following you. First, what do you mean by cancel the engagement? Our engagement?
Okay, here's the truth. 4 months ago, I met your sister.
You mean Maggie?
I knew you had a younger sister. I'd heard about that from someone back in the beginning. I mean, when we first met. But I had no idea she was so gorgeous. Why were you keeping her such a secret? Or maybe I just answered my own question.
Oh, I wasn't keeping her a secret. Not at all, in fact. So, let me guess. Did she reach out to you?
Yes, she did. And you know, I met her a few times and it really became obvious to me that we were meant to be. That she was the one for me. She's my soulmate. But I didn't feel like I could tell you, so I kept my mouth shut about it, and now here we are.
Let me ask you this, then. Have you told your folks about any of this? About breaking off our engagement? About Maggie?
I haven't said a word to them about it yet, but I will soon. And that's because I know they'll be against it. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I bet they will be. And they have their reasons, as I'm sure you know.
I know they won't give their blessing to my relationship with Maggie. But she's the one I love. You gotta understand, Andrea.
Hey, that's easy for you to say, Channing. I mean, you just dropped this bomb on me out of nowhere. This situation got really messy all of a sudden. Extremely messy.
Yes, you're right. It got really complicated because of this. But the wedding's next week and there's no turning back. I have every intention of marrying Maggie, so it's full speed ahead. I already let the people at the wedding chapel know that the bride will be Maggie, not you.
What? You just went and did that on your own without consulting anyone? The wedding is next week and you just told them there's gonna be a bride change? That's gonna cause an uproar, don't you think?
Nah, it's gonna be okay. My folks are old friends with the people who run that chapel. All it'll take is a word from my dad and they'll take care of whatever needs to be done. And as far as the guests are concerned, it's not a big change. We're still inviting the same families and a lot of the same work friends, so there won't be much to change there. With that being said, I just really need to ask you to step aside and let Maggie take your place, Andrea. I'm sorry.
Step aside? Sure. You do remember, don't you? How all this started? That it was your parents who originally wanted to introduce you and me, right? They're probably gonna have something to say about all this too. You know that, right?
Yeah, of course I know that. But I'll explain it all to them. I'm sure they'll understand. It'll be fine. You'll see. There are always obstacles to overcome for love, aren't there? But I'll do whatever I have to do to marry my soulmate, Maggie. We were meant to be.
To be honest, Maggie's always had a terrible habit of taking what's not hers. And it's usually me who she takes from. So I have no desire to be involved with her in any way anymore. And now it seems that the two of you are gonna get married. So it's another example of her stealing from me. Going forward, I won't have anything to do with either of you ever again. Is that clear? Are you okay with that? You understand what that means, right?
Sure, of course. I get it. After all, a bird in the hand and all that. I had to choose and I've made my choice. I can live with it, of course. I see where you're coming from. I hope you won't hold a grudge against Maggie for all this, though.
Fine. I'll try not to.
She told me about how she sold your model collection before. You know, she feels really bad about that. She regrets it so much and wishes she could apologize to you. But you never respond to her and she thinks you hate her. She wishes she could talk to you about it. She's really upset about it. She was crying when she told me the story.
She told you all that? Wow. That's kind of surprising, actually.
You don't have to forgive her for it. But at least don't hold an eternal grudge against her, okay? Why don't we all make a promise to each other that we just won't have any involvement with each other anymore? No forgiveness, but no grudges either. How about that? It's a good middle ground, I think. Because, as ironic as it is, this is where fate has brought the three of us.
Yeah, you're right. I never would have guessed things would play out like this. It really is ironic. More than you know, actually, Channing.
Look, you're her older sister and you guys love each other even though you have your differences. So obviously you're gonna be at the wedding, right? But we also just agreed to not get involved with each other anymore. Please, Andrea. Please don't do anything to sabotage the wedding. Please don't do that, okay?
Oh, I won't. Don't worry about that. I don't have the energy or the willpower for that, believe me. Far from it.
I feel really bad about how things have played out. I didn't want to have to drop it in your lap so suddenly like this. But I truly hope and believe that there's a man for you out there and you're gonna meet him soon. So, goodbye and good luck, Andrea.
Goodbye. Andrea! Are you ready for this wedding? You better be! Didn't I tell you? I knew he'd choose me over you. I mean, was there ever any doubt? I am the one looking radiant in my wedding dress, and you're just a guest. As it should be. Oh, that's right. Today is the wedding, isn't it? I forgot all about it, to be honest. You forgot about it? I doubt it. After all, it was originally supposed to be your wedding day, remember? But I get it. It must be hard for you to watch this. I totally get it. So, when are you coming? I can't wait to see you. Are you coming with Dad and them? Or separately?
Oh, I meant to ask you. Have you told Dad about this whole thing?
About what whole thing? What do you mean?
I mean about you marrying Channing instead of me.
No, not yet. I want to surprise him. I'm gonna tell them at the last minute. Can't wait to see the look on his face. That'll be a great surprise for sure.
Oh yeah, that'll surprise him all right. That's gonna surprise him so much I think he might have a heart attack when you tell him. Think about it. A completely different person from the one they're expecting is gonna be standing at the altar.
Yeah, the next company president just upgraded from a boring nerd of a bride to her younger, hotter sister. That's definitely gonna surprise some people. Dad included.
The next company president? How do you figure?
Yeah, Channing's next in line to take over at the company. You know that. His dad runs things now, but not forever. And their company does business with our dad's company. That's how this whole matchmaking thing happened in the first place.
Yeah, I know all that.
Anyway, when are you coming? I really want you to see me in my wedding dress before anyone else does. It's only fair. And don't forget to bring my present. And by the way, I don't want you at the ceremony or the reception. It'll really be embarrassing to Channing if everyone sees what a homely nerd you are. I mean, after all, some of them do know that he was almost gonna marry you before he found me.
Excuse me?
What I said is that after you come and see how beautiful I am in my wedding dress, you can just go home, please. After you give me my present, of course. It's funny, isn't it? Once again, what belonged to you is now mine. I guess it's just your lot in life, sis.
Not exactly.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm getting married today, too. In Las Vegas. I'm on my way to the airport right now, in fact.
Wait, you're getting married in Las Vegas? Today? When did that happen?
What are you even talking about?
Listen, sis. I don't know how to break this to you, but Channing is here with me. Not you.
Yeah, about that, Maggie. You've had a couple of facts all wrong for a while now. For starters, Channing and I were never engaged. You assumed that, and you should know what happens when you assume.
But wait a minute. You and Channing canceled your engagement. Those were the exact words I was told. That means you guys had to have been engaged.
That's where you're wrong. You took his word for what happened, and that was your second mistake. I have zero recollection of ever getting engaged to him because it never happened. That's why, when Channing told me he wanted to cancel the engagement, I was confused. As far as I knew, we were never engaged. The man I'm marrying today in Vegas is the man I've been engaged to for 5 years and am in love with. And I assure you, he's not Channing.
Wait, so what was all this about your engagement to Channing?
That was something both our parents obviously were pushing for. I told Dad there's someone I want to marry and who I want to introduce him to. When he heard that, he immediately tried to set me up with Channing, despite what I'd told him already. And he sets us up in a way that didn't make it clear to me that it was a setup.
That was the first time I met Channing, and, like I said, it was a secret setup, and I didn't like it. Wow. And after that, too. Dad managed to put him and me together a couple more times, but it always looked and felt really staged and awkward. Anyway, after the third time, I'd had enough and just started ignoring Dad's obvious attempts to keep the scheme going. I told him I already had someone who I want to marry, and I'm engaged to him. He just didn't realize I wasn't talking about Channing. He made the same mistake you did. He assumed. Not my fault. So you really are engaged to someone other than Channing, then? You're not lying? I swear it's the truth. I have no reason to lie about this. And the setup, the families getting together, and the wedding were all done without anyone consulting me, and of course without anyone asking me who my fiancé is. I was shocked, to be honest, and I wanted no part of any of it. I decided that enough was enough and changed all my contact information so nobody would know it. And I intend to start my new life with my soulmate, which is what I'm about to do. So, wait. This means there's no issue as far as Channing and me getting married, right? That's right. He didn't cheat on me, and there won't be any legal repercussions. Oh, and also, you didn't steal him from me. What the heck? Well, I was planning to hand any legal issues over to Channing anyway. But it's great that I won't have to do that now. And it actually seems like there's nothing to worry about at all. Yep, you're right about that. So, go get married already. Let's both go and find our happiness. I had no idea what's really been going on. Anyway, I'm gonna be in Vegas getting married. It'll be a private ceremony with just me and my husband-to-be. My phone's gonna be off for a while, so have yourself a good ceremony, too. You're getting on a plane now? Yep. The wedding's not until the day after tomorrow, so... Oh! So I'll still be married before you. Phew! That's a relief. You know, Channing wanted me to promise I wouldn't hold a grudge against you. He really said that to you? About me? Yep. Seems like he really loves you. And the truth is, I don't hold a grudge. I mean, if anything, I should be thanking you. So I'm hoping you have a lovely wedding and will be sending you best wishes from 30,000 feet. Wait. Thanking me? Yes. You saved me from an engagement and marriage that would have been a complete setup. And now I can marry the man I love and who loves and understands me. And I get to marry into money! Somehow, we both get happy endings from this. And it's all thanks to me. Yep. So thanks. And best wishes to you. Okay, I gotta go. My flight's boarding. Have a great trip! Andrea, when are you coming back from Vegas? Get back to me ASAP, okay? I really need to talk to you. Hey, sorry. I just got back a little while ago. What's up? Did something happen? Where are you? You're at the airport? I'll meet you there. I need your help. You gotta hide me. Hide you? What's this all about? Hide you from whom? What happened to your happy marriage? Happy marriage? It's turned out to be nothing of the kind. Why is this happening to me? It might be because your marriage was supposed to be my marriage. The bride got switched out at the last minute, remember? Huh? What are you saying? That my marriage is meaningless because I'm not you? Think back, Maggie. What was Dad's reaction when he found out it was you marrying Channing instead of me? They were really upset about it. The ceremony and reception were a mess. Mom and Dad were arguing with his parents. Both of them were accusing the others of being dishonest and such. It was ugly. That's because it was me they wanted to marry to Channing, not you. And there was a reason and a plan for him marrying me and not you. What do you mean? Why would it matter which of us it is who marries him? It's still the same two families coming together. Maggie, do you even know what kind of company it is that they own? Actually, no. I don't know. What kind?
It's a toy company, Maggie. How do you not know that? And they've been losing money for quite a while. They're on the verge of bankruptcy, actually.
Losing money and on the verge of going under? Really?
Yeah. Here's the deal. Dad's company subcontracts with their company. They buy toy parts from us. Dad's gonna have a hard time if the company he has a contract with suddenly goes under. And they're looking to get back on their feet with a home run, if you know what I mean. They need to come up with a winner. And soon. And that's where I came in. Or, at least, where I was supposed to come in.
Huh? Why you?
Why? Because I'm a boring nerd, of course. And because I know toys. You know, I was always picking up stuff Dad threw away and making toys from it. Making models and selling them. When I was in middle school, I was actually making pretty good money selling the stuff I made.
Wait, are you talking about the stuff I sold?
Those were all rare and expensive retail items. I was building that stuff here and there in my spare time after I started working full-time. I was putting out original pieces and, once in a while, someone from one of the big toy manufacturers would see my stuff. I was getting scouted by them occasionally, and one of those scouts was the guy who I ended up marrying. Then I got hired by one of those toy makers as a full-time employee and got involved in the development of a bunch of different products.
So the marriage set up with Channing was all about recruiting you?
Simply put, yes. I'm guessing they probably saw something about me in a magazine or online somewhere, realized that I'm Dad's daughter, and it's probably because that one reporter called me a hitmaker without equal.
A hitmaker?
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So anyway, I'm thinking that Channing's dad was thinking that, if we became family, they'd be able to get some of my mojo and finally develop that home run that could turn everything around for them. That way, they'd survive and so would Dad.
So the marriage really is meaningless unless it's you.
I hate to say it, but yeah. You're just a temp worker. And you're not really good at anything. Don't have much imagination and zero attention span, so yeah, you're not really suited to toy development. Or any development, probably.
Hang on. Is that why you're mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. I'm grateful to you. I was able to marry the man I love and stay with the job I love, and that's all thanks to you stealing the guy who you thought was my fiancé.
I want a divorce.
But didn't you just get married?
But I didn't know their company was on the verge of bankruptcy. And he's not even gonna be the company president.
Oh, it's actually his older brother who's gonna be the president, right?
I only found out about his older brother at the wedding. I just assumed that he was the oldest and would be his dad's successor.
Yeah, it kind of seems like he was thinking the same thing.
It turns out that he barely works and is pretty stupid. He's saying that we're gonna move into the same neighborhood as his parents. I told him no way, but he won't listen to me at all. He just keeps telling me that this is our destiny.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe you should just accept it.
No way! His mom is a total battle axe. No way do I want to live near her.
Yeah, I know Channing's first wife left him because of that mother of his.
What? That's the first I've heard of any of this. He's been married before?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's clearly paying monthly child support for them. And he's also working at a company that's on the verge of bankruptcy. That's gotta be tough.
Kids? He has kids?
Yeah, he was trying to hide them before, when I first met him. But then when we were having dinner one time, he told me all about them.
Why haven't I heard about them?
I bet his mom is making sure they don't get talked about until the timing is right. You can't be saying the wrong thing and scaring the potential new brides away.
I don't even know what to say. Did I really marry a dim-witted divorced dad who works for a nearly bankrupt company?
All I can say is that this makes us even for you selling my priceless collection. I still don't forgive you, of course, but I'm definitely satisfied seeing your life go down the tubes. So satisfied.
So thanks, Maggie. Hang on, Andrea. Like I said, I need to stay with you. Can I please? Mom and Dad are telling me that if the company fails now, it's all on me. They're telling me I have to do something. Help! No, sorry. I'm not involved anymore. Just like I told you before. You and your husband both make good money at your company, right? Please, please take me in. Andrea! Andrea! Maggie, my job is making kids' dreams come true. And I have no interest in getting involved in ugly situations that adults create for themselves. This is entirely your own doing, so you'll have to be the one to undo it. Best of luck to you. I changed my phone number and other contact info and cut all ties with them, so I don't know the details, but it does sound like the company eventually went bankrupt. It also appears that Maggie and Channing's marriage was the main cause of its collapse. The two of them couldn't handle the fallout and went into hiding, I hear. I have no idea where they are or what they're doing now, but I imagine that, without the backing of either family, the two of them aren't living the high life, without any real work history or skills to speak of. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. If you didn't, feel free to give us your opinion in the comments section below. Also, please follow our channel. Your opinions and comments keep us going. We have many more videos that we're sure you'll enjoy, so please check them all out. See you in the next video.